Be in trouble. Okay. All right. So you're the GM of Penwells, correct?
Yeah, technically, I'm not the GM. I'm the CEO of the hotel company,
Oh,
Wellsboro Hotel Company.
okay. And so what's the hotel company look like, real quick, so I get a context?
So we have two properties, and they're located in a small town in the mountains of Pennsylvania. And one of them's an older Historic Hotels of America property. It's 150 years old, and that property has about 65 active rooms. And then one block down the street, on the same main street, is an 89-room, more modern property. So the Historic Hotel actually is about 9 months a year that it's open. We actually close Sunday, and we'll be closed till about March. We have very summer, fall tourist season here. Then the
Okay.
lodge property stays open year round.
Okay. And so you're a Maverick user. What led you to Maverick?
Well, we were a windsurfer user first. So
Okay.
we converted to windsurfer, I think February 2019. We've been using Opera through Oracle prior to that. So we had My Fidelio, which was the windsurfer component. So we ended up converting our PMS to Jonas, and along with that, moved our Sierras to windsurfer. So in terms of Maverick, it's something Caroline and I talked about when it was coming onto the market. And I'd previously been using Constant Contact for my email marketing, and as well as a third-party service that was doing a pop-up on our website, kind of a drip email campaign. But the Constant Contact, of course, wasn't integrated with our guest data. Part of the appeal with Maverick was to bring everything together in a way that we hadn't been doing before.
When did you go live?
We went live with our transactional emails in late July.
Okay.
And we started doing our first truly marketing emails either in late October or early November. And we are just starting loyalty. Had our first conversation with Allegra and Megan about loyalty a week ago. So we're hoping to get that. Like I said, we're going into our off season right now. So getting loyalty up and running for next year, as well as really continuing our work with Maverick to the point where we can really use it effectively next year.
Yeah. How have your transactional emails gone since you started that?
They have gone well. I mean, they're transactional, so they happen in the background. Once we set them up, I don't pay as much attention to them as the truly marketing side, because they're just happening. But one aspect of them, again, something we hadn't been doing, is we're doing a post-stay email and a pre-stay email. The pre-stay email has been, before we were just simply, someone make a reservation, they'd get a confirmation email, cancellation email. We were doing that. The pre-stay email has come in really handy due to COVID. So we were really trying to set expectations for, wearing masks, some of the other things that would be happening on the property.
Okay.
I have some homeschoolers here who are home due to COVID, so it must be getting close to lunchtime.
Yeah, not a problem.
So we've been sending an email out saying, just looking forward to your stay. Just to let you know, we're requiring masks in common areas. Some updates on what's going on with our restaurant services and things like that. Just trying to let people know ahead of arrival on property. So not that it should catch anyone unaware at this point, but just expectations are set, because
Yeah. And
some
I was in the grocery store this week, and guys walking right by me without a mask, and I'm like, what?
yeah, people have been pretty good, but not everybody.
Yeah.
And then likewise, we're doing a post-day email, which we've really only implemented kind of late in the season. We're just trying to get people to give us more reviews on TripAdvisor, Facebook, feedback on any social media sites. So we're hoping to use that in our next season to really gather more feedback, which it just has a lot of positive impact for us when we do it.
So, so how did the whole transaction go with regards to taking on Maverick, the implementation process? Tell me about that.
The implementation process, so thinking back, it's been a crazy year. So I think Caroline and I first started talking about it in March or April, just as COVID was hitting. And I was saying, Caroline, it's kind of a crazy time to be thinking about new software. My whole world is crashing around me. But it had a lot of nice features, like I said, that we weren't doing. So I think we did commit to it fairly early nonetheless, like maybe in April or May we contracted for it. And of course, the windsurfer staff, or the Maverick and Wave staff, have been very busy as well as we were. So it was somewhat slow to implement on both ends. But what I would say with respect to Maverick in particular, I have a similar story for Wave, but for Maverick, the implementation has gone really well, even though it's been a little bit slow to roll out, because I feel like Allegra Medina has been the prime contact
Yep, you're cutting out.
and a lot of time to understand our property, you know, what our customer is interested in, spending time on our website to see what we're doing to attract guests in the first place, as well as we had a lot of disparate efforts, the constant contact, the drip campaign, different things we were doing. So she really took a lot of time to understand the full picture of what we're doing and how best to use Maverick to our advantage. So she hasn't just been taking like a cookie cutter approach, saying this is our transactional email, so just plug in what you do for that, and this is all the marketing tools, here you go. She's on the marketing side in particular, she's given a lot of great advice on the tools that Maverick has, and had some good conversations about how we can use them to our benefit.
So when again, what was the if you recall, the what was the impetus to buy Maverick or try Maverick? I mean, was it you have a really close relationship with Caroline and you trust her, or was it, hey, I have been using Windsurfer and I've been dealing with Windsurfer support team or a client account team, and I just got to feel like, I mean, if anyone's going to sell me software, I mean, these guys are. What was it? I mean, can you articulate that?
I mean, I had a positive relationship with Caroline and the Windsurfer support team, but it was more the attraction for me of integrating marketing with our CRS and being able to put that information together.
Okay.
Which, as I said, we hadn't been doing before. The ability to pull out a marketing campaign we get a lot of people coming on a golf package because we have a golf course 2 miles from us that we make arrangements for. And using Constant Contact and using the emails that would come through. If somebody requested information on the golf package, we'd have to manually capture that information, upload it into Constant Contact, or extract the information from Opera or Jonas, which wasn't always easy, manually, and continually upload it into Constant Contact to do a campaign to reach our golfers. Whereas with Maverick, Allegra has it set up so if you request information on our website about a golf package now, you get an email directly from Maverick, and that golfer's profile is saved in Maverick. So when we want to market golf and give information about the next year's golf season and so forth, it's all right there. And we're we're not a small hotel. We have 150 plus rooms active, but we're small enough that I don't have a marketing staff. So a lot of things were falling through the cracks. So the ability to automate and integrate was really the biggest selling point for me.
Got it. We didn't plan on it, but did you want to talk about Wave?
I can, yeah, absolutely.
So what was the impetus to go there?
So similarly, we've never had a revenue management system before. I've been at the hotel for 10 years. My wife and I were lawyers before. The hotel company has been her family for generations. So we took what we thought was going to be a temporary transition into running the business and kind of have made it into a full-time thing for going on 10 years now.
Mm-hmm. Congratulations.
Thank you. When we
I used
came
to sell
here,
software to lawyers, so
there you go. Full circle. So when we came here, there was no online reservations. So brought on online reservations and connecting to Expedia and Booking and things like that over time. So, somewhat keeping up with technology as a small company is always a challenge. And we're in a market where we're mostly in our own town. There's other motels, and about 10 miles away, there's some chains. But it's not like a city where there's 30 similar properties all competing for the same traveler. A lot of the time we spend selling the destination. But with respect to Wave, our revenue management strategy was basically taking the old paper sheet, and as we evolved into online booking, making it a little more sophisticated, but by no means not very sophisticated. And our general managers are on the property, kind of working the front desk and being GMs. Not really big enough to have a revenue manager. So again, I was kind of, as the owner, being the revenue manager, but there's calls for our time. We have restaurant operation, we have a movie theater, we have just being involved in the community. So, and revenue management takes time. So I knew that I wasn't maximizing things like, busy weekends, taking note of how the forecast is trending and all of those things that good revenue managers do. So as I was talking through it with Caroline at the decision stage, my hesitation to the product was we're in a market that's unique to ourselves. We're a destination hotel in a small town where the only real competitors are two small motels, and the three chains that are 10 miles away, there are competitors, but they're different. We have a Hampton Inn that is probably our most true competitor, but it's not in the same town, and they do more corporate travelers. We do more leisure. So it wasn't clear to me that you could do the true revenue management in the way that a city does, where like everybody's trending down and you're pulling data from other hotels and really making those kind of decisions. But what finally kicked me the other way with respect to Wave was partly it's an affordable product. It's not, you know, it's not overwhelmingly expensive, and I just truly felt that because of the constraints on my time and just the constraints on our ability to have a lot of administrative people in our organization, that the AI could just do it better than me. And we only just last week, Nicole turned the autopilot on for Wave. So we spent most of this 5 or 6 month period just kind of getting a feel for how Wave was reading our property and our market. And of course, with COVID, everything's a little bit different this year. Right. So it's a challenge for me, and it's a challenge for AI to figure out what the heck is going on this year.
Right.
But we're watching it. We're seeing what Wave thinks carefully, and I think it's going to take us some time to truly be completely on the same page with it and understand how it's reading us. But I just have confidence that a computer's ability to monitor how our competitors are pricing, how we're forecasting 365 days a year. We have a small hotel, but we have 10 or so room types at each property. It's just more complex. The human element and the time element. I just think Wave, even given our limitations with not a great competitive set for it to draw from, it can still be of value to us. So that's essentially why we went with Wave. And Nicole, like Allegra, Nicole has been great. I mean, she's obviously super smart and understands the product, understands revenue management itself in a way that is great to learn from, and didn't just treat us like a cookie cutter product where just let Wave take over our rates without really learning some of the idiosyncrasies that we see and appreciate in our own market.
Right. Well, sir, I appreciate your feedback. It's very helpful to me personally as the marketing department here. But also I know that, I mean, it's just, we need to know these things, we need to know why and how come and how things have gone. So, very much appreciate your time.
Yep. I'm happy to share, and so far so good. I just really appreciate Allegra and Nicole taking special effort with us. So I think that's my bottom line message to anyone you want to mention that to. But it's definitely a process, and we're enjoying the software so far.
Fantastic. All right, sir. Well, I'll let you run. And again, I thank you very much for your time, and you had a lot of really good things to say. Maybe I can weave together a couple of sentences on your behalf for you to review. Maybe we could share with prospects and maybe on our social channel, something like that.
Yeah, I'd be happy to.
Okay, so I'll do some wordsmithing and get it down to concise thoughts that you had, and then send it over for your review. And hope you have a wonderful holiday, and we'll talk soon.
Same to you. Thanks very much. Take care.
Thank you. All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.